When I told my sister that I'm making a video about how to not being a people pleaser, she laughed and she said, "And how are you qualified to talk about this?" And I said, because I have been a people pleaser myself, and people want to learn from people who are like them and who have struggled with the same things that they are struggling with. Hi, this is Supreet. I upload new videos every Sunday about personal growth, meditation, and parenting. You can follow me at Grow with Supreet on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. As a child and even up to my 20s, I have been a people pleaser. I always sought the approval of my parents, teachers, and then later on my boss, my coworker, and then later on my in-laws, my relatives. I think this comes to me from my personality style, which is ESFJ. I have made a video in which I talk about personality styles and how you can use your personality style to grow yourself. I will link that, and that video will be here or here. I don't know which way, somewhere above. One of the ways I have grown in the last decade is that I'm not a people pleaser anymore. I'm a me pleaser now. And this may sound selfish, but it is not. Because when you're living your life to please others, you're actually hurting yourself, because you're not being true to yourself, you're not being your authentic self, and by not being your authentic self, you're not able to serve others fully. So when you become a me pleaser, you're actually helping others as well. Here are 5 ways in which you can stop being a people pleaser. Number 1, listen to your inner voice. Whenever you are faced with a decision to make, a difficult decision, ask yourself, ask your inner voice, your gut instinct, your heart, what feels right to do? Not what feels comfortable to do, but what feels right to do. And then make that choice, even if it is not the most comfortable choice. Remember, growth happens at the end of your comfort zone. For example, recently we've had to say no to dinner invitations from our friends. Saying yes would have been the easy choice to make, it would have been the fun choice to make, and it would have been the choice that pleased our friends. But we realized that social distancing would not be possible, and we are concerned about coronavirus, and so we felt that the right choice to make here would be to say no. So we listened to our inner voice and made the decision that felt right to make for us, even though it wasn't the most comfortable decision. Number 2, don't be scared of conflict. By nature, I'm a conflict avoider, which is why I'm a people pleaser as well. In the past, I used to make decisions so that I'm able to avoid conflict, and in my mind, I used to justify them by saying that I'm doing that to maintain peace, and peace is such a noble goal, right? So how can you argue with that? But with experience, I have learned that by being a conflict avoider, my own peace of mind is ruined, and that's not good for anyone. I might make the other person temporarily happy by agreeing with them or by being the bigger person, but in the long run, I'm actually hurting my peace of mind as well as my relationship with that person. So avoiding conflict is not serving anyone. Instead, by openly discussing and resolving conflicts with others, I am learning something about them, they're learning something about me, and the relationship becomes deeper and more solidified. Not in all cases, but in some. In some cases, openly bringing up conflicts might make the relationship go sour, but then in that case, you have to wonder, do I really want to please the person who is so inflexible and so unwilling to listen to others' point of view? Remember, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Conflict is not a bad thing. It can be a great thing in your personal life and your professional life. To give you an example, in the past at work, I used to not bring up any issues. I used to avoid confrontation as much as I could because my fear was that by doing that, they are not going to like me or something bad would happen. I had all these imagined negative consequences in my head. But lately, as a part of doing this inner work and trying to grow myself, recently I brought up a couple issues, things that were bothering me with my coworkers. we had an open discussion about those issues and we resolved them. So nothing bad happened. All those imagined things in my head that they're going to hate me or I will lose my job or whatever, none of it actually happened. See, the thing is that conflict avoiders like me, we tend to think that other people hate conflict as much as I do, and when I bring something up, they are going to hate me for it, they're going to hate that conversation. But all people are not conflict avoiders. So it's okay to bring conflict and resolve it, because some people, actually many people, would actually prefer that you brought up conflict instead of keeping it inside of you and being passive aggressive. Number 3, increase your self-esteem. One of the reasons why you may seek the approval of others is that your own self-esteem is low. So you look for validation or approval from others. But if your self-esteem and your self-love is so high, then you are so sure of yourself, you are so sure of doing the things that feel right and feel authentic to you, that the approval of others does not matter. Your joy comes from within, not from outside. So how do you increase your self-esteem? I'm going to tell you 2 ways in which you can do that. The first one is to do a mirror exercise, which I talk in detail in this video. And doing this mirror exercise is going to help you improve your self-confidence and your self-love. And the second one is meditation. Yes, you heard it right, meditation. I have been meditating for about 4 years, and it has helped me to increase my self-awareness, increase my self-esteem, connect to my inner voice, and increase my self-love. So because of that, because of all that inner work and being self-aware and self-love, I worry way less than I used to about other people's opinions of me. I have less need to derive fulfillment from what others say about me or others think about me. My first point in this video was to listen to your inner voice. If you feel that you don't have an inner voice or you're having trouble listening to it, meditation will help you find it. If you want to start meditation, check out my playlists called Easy Meditation Techniques and Meditation Tips for Beginners. I will link them both in the description below. 5 years ago, my self-esteem was not as high as it is today. I tended to just agree with people in order to not offend them, and I also tended to seek validation and approval from others to feel good about myself. It is only because of the inner work I have done over the last 4 or 5 years through meditation and through reading self-improvement books that now I am in a place where I do not depend on the approval of others. I still do a little bit, but way less than what I used to in the past. So now that is the reason that I am able to express my views bravely on this public platform and not worry too much about the bad comments, negative comments I get or the dislikes I get on my YouTube videos. Because no matter how right I think what I'm saying is, I always have the intention of providing value and helping others. But no matter what I think, no matter what my intention is, there will always be someone who can find something wrong about what I'm talking about on YouTube, and as a result they're not going to like my content, they're going to dislike my video, and that is okay. My goal is not to please everyone. My goal is to help those who can connect with me and who can relate with me. And the only reason it's okay now, even though I was originally a people pleaser, is because of all this inner work I have done through meditation and reading self-improvement books. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, would you please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already? Thank you so much. Tip number 4, disregard what you were taught. My mom is not going to like this one. So when we were kids, we were raised by our parents and teachers and society to do certain things and to not do certain things. And that is great, and we all need that when we are children. But now that you are an adult, I'm going to challenge you to disregard what you were taught, because now that you are an adult, you are a unique person with a unique personality. Nobody knows you as well as you know yourself. So you do you. Don't do what the society expects of you or what others expect of you. Do what feels right to you. So disregard what you were taught. Don't do something because that's what you should do or that's what society expects you to do. Do what feels right to you. And again, to get this kind of clarity about what you feel and what you want without listening to the outside world, meditation will really help you. Before I meditated, I used to be confused about a lot of things. Should I? Shouldn't I? I used to look for answers by asking others or by reading books. But now, because of meditation, because of that mind training that I have done over the last few years, I know that for any kind of dilemma, for any kind of confusion, if I really look inside, the right answer will come from inside of me. It may not come right away, but eventually it will come if I keep on paying attention to the inner voice. I still do have confusion sometimes, for example, with some parenting dilemmas, but I just have learned to trust and wait for my inner voice to guide me. There was a quote I read which I really liked. It says, if you can't find your answer on the internet, find it on the inner net. Tip number 5 is to visualize your funeral. In Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he talks about an exercise which is called visualizing your funeral exercise. So what you do in this exercise is you imagine that it's your funeral and you imagine that in great detail. So what are the people saying about you? What kind of legacy did you leave behind? What are they remembering you for? So if you spend time and do this exercise, I have made a complete detailed video on just how to do this exercise. I will link it above and also in the description below. So when you do this visualizing your funeral exercise, you get very clear about what is it that you want to do in your life? What is your real purpose? And you, as a result of doing this exercise, you become less worried about what people will say or what people will think or whether or not they will approve what you do. And the reason is that this exercise puts you face to face with death in a way that you may never have imagined before. So you feel death feels very real, your mortality feels very real. And when you realize that I'm going to die anyway, do I really want to live my life worrying about what people will think of me? So that fear of judgment kind of disappears by doing this exercise. So I think doing this exercise will also help you a lot. So to summarize, the 5 tips to not be a people pleaser are: number 1, listen to your inner voice. Number 2, don't be scared of conflict. Number 3, increase your self-esteem. Number 4, disregard what you were taught. Number 5, do the visualize your funeral exercise. Tell me in the comments below, are you a people pleaser or you're not? If you are not, do you have any other tips in addition to the ones I gave for others to stop being people pleasers? That's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and keep growing. Inner voice. I need more practice. By nature, I am, but with experience, I have learned that so I'm hoping that because in Stephen Covey, sorry, I messed up.